Okay, welcome back to yet again another beginning to a fresh month here in Valrico, Florida with Coach Vlad. If you've been keeping up with my journey, you know last month was the start of year, shall I say, two. I have officially been here with Coach Vlad over a year, spilling in to another year. Can you actually believe that? Only once a week, however, over a period of time of working on cardio, working on his techniques on my own time, and coming in and getting pushed to my limit here, because every single class I walk out barely understanding how I'm even walking out by myself. His coaching and stamina endurance testing is absolutely like nothing else I've seen before. Getting to today's class, we worked jump roping, then we did shadow boxing with and without dumbbells. We worked on our forward, backwards, then we put the gloves on, piggybacking off of the warm-up we did, and then finished with some abs. All non-stop, all cardio, all abs, all mental powers. And it's fascinating to see what Coach Vlad teaches as each class goes by. We even did a special at the end with him getting on my abs and me having to soften and compress my abs, and as easy as it may look, it was not by any means. It was extremely challenging, especially after a certain amount of reps, but this is exactly why I continuously come, and as more time becomes available, I will be inside of here, because he will turn you into an absolute, complete, overall, well-rounded athlete with exercises you would have never even thought of, and combining them together. He is a chef in a kitchen, putting ingredients together to create an overall well-rounded athlete boxer. Let's go. I'm super excited to continue learning from him. I'm going to see you next week to see what we learned and how my progress is coming along. Okay, another phenomenal day inside of Coach Vlad's Valrico, Florida gym has been completed. Today I actually used my air restrictor for my mouth and my nose strip for my nose to try to train my lungs even further. I have got the air restrictor from Coach Vlad last week, and I'm going to try to maximize that every single class. It makes a huge difference with stamina and breath, which is a hindering factor within my progression. As I stop breathing or I start breathing incorrectly, my technique and my stamina goes down rapidly. So that has been helping tremendously. Today was very cardio intensive and a lot of punches. We went ahead and started on the jump rope, and then we went to the basic forward, backward, and then we worked on some pretty advanced combos towards the end. And my partner for today was Gio, and if you know Gio, Gio is the number one in his weight division in the entire country, and this man's stamina is through the absolute roof. So although he is smaller than me, he will keep you on your toes, which is exactly what I need. I love to be pushed. I love to be learning from the absolute best with the best. So I'm going to continuously move forward in my journey. What I learned today was my feet are still a little too wide, and my stamina isn't as bad as I thought it was. And that is because of the constant work I'm continuously putting in. Even outside of the ring, I've been taking much more initiative, especially after last class, to do my abs. Last class, I did 500 sit-ups, and it was nowhere near as easy as I thought. So I made a decision with myself that I'm going to do 200 a day, and I haven't missed a day since starting. So this is what it really is required to become an overall athlete. You have to take what coach is teaching you and implement it into your daily life, because coach won't be there to walk you through every single step of your journey. Applying it on your own, self-discipline is key, and you learn that here as well. I look forward to seeing what I learn next week and how much progress I make. Okay, just wrapped up another phenomenal week here with Coach Vlad. Today we worked on cardiovascular system yet again. We started off with some jump roping, then went to our shadow boxing with and without dumbbells. Today we worked on more advanced combos, really unlocking new neural pathways within our brain, even to the point where I'm having to slow it down just so my brain comprehends what I'm trying to do, because I noticed once I try to go even a little faster, the cue was altered in reality, even though I knew what I should have done, what my body did differently on autopilot, because because after a certain speed, your body has to take over what it feels is natural for its habitual patterns, which is why slowing it down and gaining more control of your body is really how you progress and making new neural pathways. And that's exactly what Coach Vlad is inside, teaching you how to be in control of your body and what makes the most sense and has the most efficiency for the most power with the least amount of energy exerted. So we worked heavily on that today. Then we end up getting with a partner and hitting the bag for really just giving it your all after going a very extensive period of throwing punches, which is a job. And if you're in boxing, you understand. If you're not, then just throwing punches without dumbbells after a while is very tiring, but with dumbbells, and then after an entire class, giving it your all for another 3 minutes or another round or two can be extremely tiring. But that is exactly when your automatic self comes out and you can see what you're capable of doing and upholding when you're tired, which translates directly into the ring once you start to get tired, or once it becomes later on into the rounds, or once you've taken so much damage that your cardio is down. Whatever this case may be, this is who you would be. So are you happy when you're exhausted? No one really will be, but at least you are in preparedness of what should be there, and the more you practice, the better that version should be. And that's exactly why you come and get better and learn from the absolute best, just like I am with Coach Vlad here. I'll see you next week to see what progress is being made. Okay, what an absolute fantastic way to end the month here with Coach Vlad. Today was on the simpler sides, yet extremely effective. It is always mindset that will make or break you, because you can make an exercise as hard as you want it to be. So we may only do 4 exercises instead of 20 on a high intensive day, but are you going to slack off on those 4 exercises just because they're 4 exercises, or are you going to give it your all and push yourself? And if you know me, you know I'm going to push myself. So I was inside absolutely dying. My shoulders are on fire, my core is on fire, and my mental stimulation is through the roof. We started off with some cardio with the jump roping. I used a new jump rope that he has. It was a weighted jump rope, which was actually much more work than you would think. I thought I was going to be able to manage it much better than I did. I did do quite well, but the stamina decreased dramatically, rapidly, shall I say. Then we went ahead and did some shadow work with the dumbbells and without the dumbbells. Honestly, I am feeling so confident with my shadow boxing, understanding what can be paired with what footwork needs to be in what situation. My breath is being able to be maintained for longer and keeping myself out of flight or flight mode, keeping myself relaxed. And it boils down to reps. And that's exactly why I continuously come here to learn from the best. I am super proud. After we went to the bag and did some finishing cardio work, did some combos, really extending that exertion further. You're already tired. You already did 60-70% of an entire workout. And now, are you able to come to this bag like this is your first round? Or are you going to come to this bag as if you're already on round 8 or 9, 10, however you see fit? It always boils down to mindset. So how strong you are is how strong you think you are. Super proud of myself for continuously showing up. I'm super thankful to be coached under Coach Vlad and him spending his time here training us. And if you are looking to get into boxing, as you can tell from my progress, even if you only have time for one class a singular week, which it doesn't get any lower than one class, you can still make progress over a period of time as long as you're willing to have that consistency and work outside of the gym and work on your mental as well as your physical. And even outside of boxing, you want to pick up a book, you want to pick up a new hobby, you want to travel. You can start small, take baby steps. Even if you want to travel, okay, maybe you don't have the money, okay, you write down where you want to go if you had the money. You want to pick up a book, instead of picking up a book and saying, you have to read this whole book, let's just read a page, and then a chapter, and then a couple chapters. And then next thing you know, you have read a book, and it feels so good to read a book. Now you want to continuously read books. You have to understand how the brain works and operates to be able to manipulate it properly to your advantage. We only get one life. Let's maximize it, everybody. Thank you so much for spending your time here with me in my journey of trying to maximize my life. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next month to see how my progress is coming along.